Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is game two. It feels like I've been here all day, but we still got a whole other game coming, and it's the boys now in the Haley Family Pod Final. The Metuchen boys basketball team looking to pull off the victory, the top seed in this mini tournament, facing off with Old Bridge, who took out Middlesex in a thriller on Wednesday. Eddie Kalegi here. We have Josh Hyman alongside for the ride today. Should be a great game today. And before we talk about this game, let's take a look at the finish from the Old Bridge game against Middlesex. It was the final seconds, and Chris Wire made some history. As you watch them penetrating inside, first shot from deep doesn't go. Second one, the rebound, no. And the tip-in at the buzzer from Wire moves on. They defeat Middlesex, and that's how this Old Bridge Knights team has moved on to face off here. So the Old Bridge team coming in at 4-7. They went 2-7 this season in the GMC Red Division. And, of course, that wins 62-60. But this team, Josh, is really led by Lucas Grissett.
Yeah, Lucas Grissett, he's got 12.3 points per game. He's going to be the guy to watch tonight, alongside Jaden St. Rose, 7.8 points per game, and Nate Johnson with 6.3. Now, Eddie, I want to talk about that finish for that last game. You could not have asked for a crazier end to that game. So Old Bridge is definitely walking in here with a lot of confidence. Their heads held high, trying to chase that high from that last game against this Metuchen team. But Metuchen's ready to play. Like you said, they're first ranked in this pod, so it's not going to be easy. But it should be a really interesting game tonight.
Yeah, Metuchen, of course, I alluded to it on Wednesday. They got a number one seed in the pod with some help. They were right on the fringe of getting a one seed, but Edison and JP both pulled out of the pod tournaments, and JFK had to shut down their boys program because of COVID. Those were three teams that could have gotten one seeds. Nonetheless, Metuchen then gets the luck of the draw, gets the one seed, and had a strong victory, 47-32, commanding over New Brunswick, who 2 years ago they were defeated by in the GMC tournament prelims. But the highlight of this game was Jai Dreher, who had an impressive dunk. As you watch this, right at the beginning of the fourth quarter, on the break, Dreher rose up for an electric jam. That's what I called it. And right on point, as 39-24, Metuchen took a 15-point lead at that point and never looked back in this game. And Josh, the Bulldogs, let's take a quick look right now at their scoring leaders this season. And you've got four guys basically averaging 10 points or more. Jai Dreher has really taken over down low these last couple games. Which of these four do you most look out for as a standout player today?
As a standout player in terms of the offense, definitely looking out for Dom Schiappa. He has been red hot these last few games. Luke Schleck, Mike Piaboso have struggled a bit, admittedly, but they're still very reliable, very respectable players that you need to be careful for. And obviously, you've got to look out for Jai Dreher on defense. He's going to be a huge obstacle for this Old Bridge team. He just confidently blocks shot after shot. He's got 10 blocks, by the way, 9.3 rebounds, and he's just a defensive nightmare for this Old Bridge team. He's got the physicality, he's got the smarts, he's got the skills to really save these Metuchen Bulldogs. But like you said, you have three players averaging over 12 points per game, and then Jai Dreher with 9.9. That's roughly 41, 42 points if they all perform how they're expected to. That's extremely dangerous coming from just four players. And like we said, Metuchen does not have a problem getting outside of their starting lineup in this game and getting on the scoreboard. So you have those bench players to worry about as well. If everything goes according to plan for this Metuchen team, they can get the easy victory here against Old Bridge.
Yeah.
But that does ride on everybody doing exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, and that's the problem we saw with the girls when they had their loss to South Plainfield earlier today in the Flaherty Family Pod Championship. None of their players that they expected to do well really played very well. Chase Clavon only had 7. Molly Malek was held to a season-low 3 points. The boys have had games where they've been expected to win, and they've been really quiet on offense. But, Josh, how does this team get off to a quick, hot start today against an Old Bridge team that we know can score?
Well, like they've been doing this for the past few games where they kind of start off slow, they kind of walk into the game. They can't do that today. They have to come out firing. They have to figure out the defense quickly, and they need to put some points on the board because we've seen that they can have trouble in the beginning parts of the games just scoring points because we've seen the scoreboard is a bit, near the end of the game it starts winding up, but you just can't afford that in the pod championships. So they need to really just penetrate this defense quickly, keep Old Bridge on their toes, and just run up the score as fast as they can because we've seen kids like Schiappa, like Schleck, when they start scoring baskets, it's just impossible to stop them. So that needs to happen as soon as that whistle blows.
And Jai Dreher coming off of 2 of his best career games, 3 dunks and averaging 17 points and 12 rebounds a game, firmly into the double-double count over these past 2 contests. The coaching matchup, Jeff Warner for the Old Bridge Knights, Guy Jensen for the Metuchen Bulldogs, will be a really fun way to recap this season and finish out this very unprecedented basketball season. But Josh, the fact that we've still been able to get now a postseason in, and Metuchen has made it through the entire season without a single COVID postponement or cancellation for any of their boys or girls games. So after a fall that they had some trouble with the football team, with the field hockey team, the fact that the winter indoors we didn't have these issues is a real testament to the care that the players, the coaches, the athletic department have taken to make sure these players stay safe.
Absolutely, and I think, luck always plays a part in sports. This year maybe it plays a bit more because we've seen some really competitive teams like Edison, like JP, just not able to compete due to COVID, and it is unfortunate, but that's just how life works. And for Metuchen, they've just been extremely lucky that we haven't really had any hiccups for pretty much any sports really, so that they're able to compete in these important games.
Well, there's been upsets galore. South Plainfield, a 4 seed, just won the girls' Flaherty Family Pod. St. Joe's went down against Colonia on Wednesday, which was a big-time upset. But let's send it down courtside now. Starting lineups, national anthem, and then it's time to roll for Game 2 of our doubleheader here on the Bulldog Report.
Your sportsmanship is an expectation. So please let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive. Tonight, the Bulldogs will be hosting the Knights from Old Bridge High School in the Haley Family Pod Final. Before we get to the starters, would you please stand for our national anthem? And now tonight's starters for the Knights. At forward, a senior, number 15, Chris Dwyer. At guard, a sophomore, number 10, Ryan Whitty. At center, a senior, number 24, Peter Nambo. At guard, a senior, number 2, Lucas Harrison. At forward, a junior, number 34, Nate Johnson.
And we are ready to rock and roll. The Bulldogs are amped up here for this Haley Family Pod Championship. The girls lost, but the boys looking to make it a victory here as they host Old Bridge. 1 seed versus 2 seed, Metuchen versus Old Bridge. Third place game, by the way. Just got confirmation from the Middlesex Twitter that they pulled off the victory 64-54 over New Brunswick. So Middlesex third, New Brunswick fourth in the pod. But the focus is this championship game. And Josh, I know we talked a lot about this on senior night, but Schleck, Dreher, Piavoso, Grice, and Kenny, they know that this is their last game here in Metuchen. They want to really put on a show.
Absolutely. And when you have a championship game as your last game, as I did for my soccer team, you just want to go all out. You can't leave anything on the court. You can't have any regrets about how you play today. You just have to win.
And we are underway. It's Michael Piavoso penetrating there. He's guarded short side there by Grissett. Now inside Schiappa, puts it up, and that one's knocked out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Bulldogs. There's a lot of height on this Old Bridge team, especially Peter Gamba. He and Nate Johnson should match up very well with Dreher and Schleck in this game. There's a nice pass inside. Schleck passes out to Piavoso. Schleck swings back out to the left wing. Now spins. Fires back out Ahmed, swinging it around the horn to Schiappa. Schiappa jump pass. Ahmed over to Piavoso now. Piavoso, great spin move, lays it up, can't get the finish after a nice moves inside. Dreher the rebound, the putback no good, but he got hit, and Jai Dreher will go to the free throw line, coming off of a 23.18 rebound performance last game against New Brunswick. As the foul there picked up by Peter Gamba, the senior, his first. Dreher knocks down the first free throw, gets the friendly roll, and the Bulldogs are on top. Allen's good as well, so 2 of 2 from the line there for Dreher. We know free throws are crucial, and a good start as it's 2-0. Here's Old Bridge with it. Driving and dribbling out there. That's Lucas Grissett, their leading scorer. Post move inside from Wire. Grissett leaves it off now for Witt. Now in the corner, now bounce pass inside, that's Nate Johnson. Johnson backing in, fires it back out Grissett. Now gets it over to Witt. Witt now takes it. Bulldogs playing some nice lockdown zone defense. Wire back, splitting the double team as Grissett high off the glass, banks it home. Lucas Grissett with his first points of the night. Old Bridge has tied things up at 2. Piavoso to Schleck. Schleck back to MP33 at the top of the key. Piavoso makes his move. Dreher tries to make some space inside. Gets it back out to Schiappa. Schiappa between the circles. Guarded by Johnson. Dribbles with the left hand. Gets it back over to Ahmed, who feeds one over to Dreher. Schiappa back to Piavoso. Piavoso calling for some motion. Both teams playing some pretty nice defense here early. Schiappa moves inside. Back out Dreher on the wing. Out to Schleck. Lifts one off to Schleck. Now it's Ahmed. Old Bridge not allowing any open shots. Dreher trying to make a post move. Out to Ahmed. Swings it out. Schiappa for 3. No good. Wasn't really set there, and he hits it off the front of the rim. Rebound by Grissett. He makes a spin move. Feeds it out. Ryan Witt. That's a 3, and that is money. Ryan Witt, the senior, hits from downtown. A lot of seniors on this Old Bridge team. Actually, that's the sophomore Ryan Witt. Wire is a senior. Read that wrong in the paper. But regardless, there are a lot of seniors on this team, but it's the sophomore who hits the 3 to make it 5-2. Ahmed over to Schleck. Schleck decides against the 3, decides to penetrate, and leaves it back out for Schiappa. Schiappa makes his move inside. Finger roll is good. Dom Schiappa with his first points. 5-4. Old Bridge on top with 5:20 remaining here in the first quarter. Grissett has it. Wire gets free, and he'll take it. Wire had the buzzer beater tip in against Middlesex on Wednesday to get Old Bridge to this position, but it's knocked away and stolen by Aiden Ahmed, the team leader in steals, who will be fouled there on the path to the basket. Second foul against the Knights, and it's the first this time against Grissett, and Metuchen will throw it in from the baseline. Schiappa inbounding. Metuchen off the stack. High arcing pass to Schleck, backing in, posting up, putting it up and good off the glass. Metuchen very strong from the field so far. Schleck showing off the muscles inside. Bulldogs back on top, 6-5. Back-to-back baskets for Metuchen. Oldbridge looking to get some momentum back. The jumper, the mid-range, sticking it there. Nice bucket right there from Peter Gamba to make it 6-5. 7-6 actually. They haven't updated the scoreboard yet, but it's 7-6. Schleck now to Piavoso. Back to Schleck. Schiappa puts it up. No good. Gets his own rebound. Trying to get one to fall, but another foul there. Oldbridge now has 3 early fouls, and that'll send Schiappa to the line. Josh, Oldbridge playing decent defense, but I think they're being too aggressive right now with all these fouls.
Yeah, definitely. The defense from Oldbridge has been very good. They've been able to limit the scoring just to 6 now, but that doesn't matter if you make so many mistakes that send your opponents to the line. It doesn't matter how good your zone coverage is. It doesn't matter how efficiently you double team. If you keep messing up in these crucial areas of the court, it doesn't matter, because Metuchen right now is relying on those errors by Oldbridge to get their points.
Schiappa's missed quite a few free throws this season. He struggled a bit from the charity stripe, and there misses both. So an empty possession for the Dogs. They remain down by 1. Johnson the pass. Wire gets past Piavoso. Posting up. Garba. Pass out wide. Unable to hit there. The rebound by Schleck. Now here's Michael Piavoso. Dreher sets the screen. Piavoso spins, met by Johnson. Schiappa, now guarded by Gamba. Here's Schleck, trying to get around Gamba. Lays it up, no good off the glass. Rebound by Wire, back the other way. Hustling with it is Grissett. Grissett takes it coast to coast, lays it up, no good off the front of the rim. Schleck corrals the miss. Here comes Metuchen with it. 3.5 remaining in the first. 7-6, Bulldogs down by 1. Dreher sets the screen. Piavoso, out to Schiappa. Swings it out Schleck. Schleck back Schiappa. Here's Piavoso. Fakes on the 3. Trying to draw out the defense. Dreher comes over. Sets a pick. Piavoso goes around it. Lays it up and puts it in off the glass. Metuchen goes back out in front. 4 players with 2 points apiece. Now Piavoso gets in on the action. Metuchen up 8-7. Here's Grissett. Met by Ahmed. Wire swings it out. It's Witt again for 3. Short. Dreher the rebound. Metuchen on the run. Here comes Piavoso with it. He'll be slowed down by Nate Johnson. Coach Jensen calling out the signs from the sideline. Couple players ready to check in for both teams. Ahmed at the right wing. Schiappa gets some space. Drives in. Puts it up. Swatted away. Peter Gamba knocks it out of bounds. Metuchen will have it. Couple of changes here for Oldbridge. Miles Sala and Jaden St. Rose will both check into the game. Metuchen sends Grice in. A Schleck gets free. Off the screen for 3. No good. Off the back of the iron. Piavoso tries to bat it out. That's going to be an over-the-back foul against Michael Piavoso. First foul against Metuchen, and Oldbridge will take possession. Metuchen overall shooting pretty well from the field, though, Josh.
Yeah, definitely. They've been having a few good shot choices, and like we said, they've had a few solid baskets. Like Michael Piavoso's shot, that was difficult for anybody, but if you want to get to these championship games like they are now, you have to have those guys willing to take those risky, dangerous shots.
With the ball here, pass over to Wire. Now getting free, trying a 3. It's Gamba. That's short off the front of the rim. Sala tries to save it. That's going to be off of Sala, out of bounds. Metuchen ball, leading by 1 with 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Ahmed will bring it up. Piavoso's on the bench, setting the floor for the Dogs. Ahmed and Grice in the backcourt. You've got Dreher patrolling the paint, and the 2 forwards are Schiappa and Schleck. Grice finds Schiappa. Schiappa makes the man jump, drives in, lays it up. It's good. Metuchen working into the paint despite the size that Oldbridge presents. Another basket in close, this time at Schiappa, who's now got 4. 10-7 Dogs. And that's going to be a travel Logan Grice is amped up as he forces Jaden St. Rose into the travel. You can see how excited this Bulldog bench is, Josh.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of passion here in Metuchen tonight and a lot of hard work. It's all culminating up to this point. Everybody's just really eager to win, and you just get moments like that that fire you up, and they need something to fire them up right now in this first quarter.
So here's Aiden Ahmed with it. Minute and a half remaining here in the first quarter. Chiappa inside Schleck. Schleck backing in, trying to get a hook shot up. He lays it up and in. The Bulldogs unstoppable down low. Schleck's now got 4. 12-7 your score. Here's St. Rose. Gets around Grice. Lays it up. It's short. Rebound Chiappa. Metuchen on the run. 3-on-2 break. Ahmed flicks it out. It's Grice, and they'll let the others come back. Dreher at the three-point line. Doesn't shoot it. Feeds it out. Here's Grice. Grice leaves it for Chiappa. Chiappa near the elbow. Now back to Ahmed, swinging it out to the left wing. That's Schleck. Under a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Schleck to Chiappa. Chiappa drives in through the contact. It's good! Metuchen unleashing the offensive attack. Timeout. Old Bridge. Bulldogs up by 7.
Well, it's like we said, Eddie, if this Metuchen team, especially players like Chiappa, like Schleck, are allowed to get on those hot streaks, this game is going to get out of control. That's what's happening right now. Metuchen has broken down this Old Bridge defense. You know, we saw them struggle a bit in the beginning, but like I said, if they figure out their way to get inside and wrestle their way to that basket, they will make some impressive shots. And let me tell you, those shots from Dunk Chiappa and Luke Schleck, they look really, not gonna lie, they looked pretty awkward taking them. They looked really tricky, you know, weaving through like 3 defenders. It's tough, but you need guys on your team that can take those crazy shots. You know, that's what separates the good players from the great players. And fortunately for Metuchen, they have some great players playing out there tonight.
Metuchen certainly showing some luck, but this is a good opportunity quickly to give a thank you to the MEF for their generous funding of the Get Loud grant, making this broadcast and every broadcast throughout the season possible. Old Bridge will have it. 14-7 is your score. 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Here's a quick pass. Driving in, losing the ball. Jai Dreher is going to take it the other way. Makes the miss. Up goes Dreher, and he throws it down. Jai Dreher's got the slam, 16-7. 22 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Ten seconds. Driving in. Bulldogs bringing the defense. It's Sala. Much needed 3 for Old Bridge. They can't convert. Rebound. Scrum on the ground. Coming out of it is Metuchen. And a travel there by Ahmed on the transition to Grice. So Old Bridge will have it with 1 second left and can try some sort of buzzer beater as they'll try to throw it in from underneath. We've seen this team hit a buzzer beater just yesterday on a tip-in. As that pass, getting it off in time, but way off, and what a first quarter from Metuchen. They lead it 16-7. And let's take a look at a replay, Josh, of what just happened with Jai Dreher on the defensive end. As he brings the defense there, and it's tripped up, and you see Dreher take it the other way.
Yeah, spectacular play from Dreher right there. You know, you almost expect the dunk at this point. But that's like we said, you have to know how to capitalize on those mistakes. And that's what Metuchen has been doing pretty well this game, you know, capitalizing on their free throws, you know, using those fouls to their advantage. We saw Grice force the travel. We've seen a lot of bad fouls from Old Bridge underneath the basket that let Metuchen get these victories. So that's what you need to do. You need to, you know, capitalize on the mistakes, keep your calm, and just keep pushing forward. It is a spectacular start for this Metuchen Bulldogs so far. Let's just hope they keep up that energy and keep that momentum going into the second quarter.
And it's amazing how many different ways. I mean, we've seen, this is I think the 8th home game they've had. There's been so many different offensive strategies we've seen from Coach Jensen because of how versatile this team is. There's certain games where they'll be constantly taking 3-pointers with Schleck and Grice. Other games where they'll focus on the mid-range. And today, everything is from 10 feet or less away, and they're really attacking this Old Bridge defense. Old Bridge has a lot of height, but they did allow 60 points to a Middlesex team that Metuchen held below 50 this season. So we know this defense might not be the best despite their size, and the Bulldogs taking full advantage of that right now.
Yeah, very true. And that just comes with a very experienced, intelligent coach who can adapt very quickly to their opponents. And the fact that this Metuchen team is very big, it's very diverse, and it has a lot of different players on that team. You know, you've got the three-pointers, you've got the two-point shooters, you've got the support players. They just have the luxury of having the skill and personnel that's required to run so many different strategies, and it's working very well for this Metuchen team so far.
Here's Witt, leaves it off for Grissett, who will dribble it back. Score 16-8. Driving in. Grissett and a foul. Believe that's against Piavoso. If that is, that would be the third foul against the Bulldogs here in the first half. And it will be an inbound from underneath for the Knights. It's a 7-6 game since then, a 10-1 run. Going very well right now for the Dogs. St. Rose leaves it off. Sala moving around inside. St. Rose penetrates, leaves it off, and that's Chris Wire with the basket. Wire puts it in. 16-10 is now your score. 7:10 remaining in the second quarter. Ahmed inside. That's a travel. Back-to-back travels for Aiden Ahmed. Had one right at the end of the first, and then here to start the second. Travels were a big issue for the girls in their game, which they lost to South Plainfield. The boys not trying to follow that up, but they have gotten off to a very hot offensive start. Dribbling around. There's Sala. Sala over to a three-pointer from downtown. Grissett from deep, and suddenly Oldbridge is back within three. Ahmed, bit of an awkward pass, and Grice gets clobbered right there by St. Rose. Fourth foul here against the Knights. That's St. Rose picking up his first. Jaden St. Rose right there leads the team with 11 threes made this season. Grice passing it around. Ahmed over to Chiappa. Chiappa back Ahmed. Now here's Grice. Grice back to Ahmed. Chiappa has space, tries a jumper, and sticks it from about 18 feet away. Dom Chiappa in the corner. He's had a really red-hot start. 8 points, game high for any player. 18-13 is your score. Coaches Jensen and Warner very active on the sidelines. Metuchen bringing great defense. Oldbridge trying something. Splitting the double team. A tie-up with Chiappa. And that's a turnover. Metuchen ball. They force Grissett into the travel. Grissett had 17 points in their comeback victory against Middlesex. Blue Jays were outscored 17-9 by this Knights team in the fourth quarter. As a steal there, Grice then gets hammered to the ground as a foul, and they're actually going to call it against Grice. Grice tried to draw the charge, Josh, but he took quite the fall.
Yeah, it's not always easy drawing the foul. There's a lot of risk that comes with it, and unfortunately he does end up with the foul himself. It doesn't mean it's not a viable strategy. You just got to know how to do it.
St. Rose gives it over to Grissett. Grissett finds Sala. Over the corner, that's Witt. Back to Sala. Grissett with Grice on him. Both these teams usually slow-paced, but they can move it on the fast break as Sala sinks one from deep. Miles Sala with his first points. 5 different players have scored here for Oldbridge. It's 18-16 your score. Inside, there's Dreher putting it up, and a foul is going to be called. So Jai Dreher back to the line where he's 2 of 2 from today. So 4 points at this point here for Dreher, and that's a second foul against Wire, as the first one is good. And also the extra point that Oldbridge got between quarters, they had a technical free throw while we were looking at the Dreher replay by Grissett, so he has 1 more point. as Dreher can't hit the second free throw. 19-16, Grissett has it. Metuchen is led by as many as 9. Oldbridge has started to climb back into this here in the second quarter after getting dominated down low in the first quarter. Sala trying to heat up, and he does so. Miles Sala back-to-back three-pointers. One from the right, one from the left, and now we're tied at 19. Ahmed. Back to Piavosa. The Knights have erased a 9-point deficit. Piavosa. Over to Schiappa. Inside Dreher. Dreher finds Schleck. Schleck, easy jumper, is good. Luke Schleck gives Metuchen the lead back. 21-19, 4:23 remaining in the half. Grissett almost dribbles right into the screen. Now it's a bad matchup. Dreher trying to stay with Grissett. And he has it knocked away. And Piavosa's going to steal it away. And that's going to be a foul against Oldbridge.
Some very impressive dribbling to recover that ball from Piavosa right there.
Yeah, it was in a really awkward spot. And now that's the last foul to give for the half for Oldbridge. They've now have 6 fouls. And Metuchen will bring it up. 2-point game. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Ahmed, almost a steal there by Gamba. Inside, Schiappa puts it up and in.
Schiappa to 10 points now.
Schiappa in double figures, 23-19. Nice move inside, putting it up. That one's short. Tie up here, Schiappa and Schleck both all over St. Rose. Metuchen with the possession arrow. And they'll take the ball back. Bulldogs have been scoring, Josh, but their defensive intensity has been really strong today.
Yeah, definitely. I think from both teams are playing a pretty solid defensive game right now. Fortunately, Metuchen is holding them a bit short, but they do have to be careful of Miles Sala, who is red hot with his three-pointers.
Here's Piavosa. Over to Schleck, inside. That's Schiappa. Schiappa has space now, gets mauled by 2, puts it in, and the foul. Dom Schiappa's fired up. Schiappa, who missed some games early in the season, is making up for it here. 12 points, and now will head to the line for another one.
He's more than made up for it today, Eddie. I think his playing so far has been incredible, getting crucial baskets and now drawing some very important fouls to go to the line.
So Ryan Witt picks up his first foul. Metuchen now in the bonus, so 1-1 here for Schiappa. And actually, wait, now it's silly me. This is a 3-point play, and it's 26-19 Metuchen. 7-0 run here by the Bulldogs, and after Oldbridge tied it with back-to-back threes from Miles Sala, Metuchen has now scored 7 in a row. Here comes Oldbridge with it. 26-19 is your score. St. Rose, back to Nate Johnson back into the game. Grissett, who has been on the floor a lot tonight. Same with Gamba. Gamba, Sala, St. Rose, Johnson, and Grissett. St. Rose drives in, up and under is good. Fancy finish, Jaden St. Rose, 26-21. Here comes Aiden Ahmed. Out to Grice. Grice, corner, 3, too strong. Nate Johnson crashes the boards. St. Rose gets it over. Grissett drives along the baseline, floats it up. Short, Jai Dreher with the strong rebound. Here's Ahmed. Schleck. Back to Ahmed. Ahmed swings it over. Schiappa. Out to Schleck. Schleck. Straight on 3. Dead eye for Luke Schleck. Bulldogs back up by 8. Timeout called.
That's a return to form right there for Luke Schleck, now with 9 points. A spectacular three-pointer right there.
Yeah, great shot there by Luke Schleck. Let's watch the motion right here on this Bulldog offensive attack. You see Ahmed makes his move. Schleck gets it over to Ahmed, and you see him draw the double team. And Schleck is left wide open, Josh, and is able to drill that.
That was just an incredible play right there, especially from Ahmed and Schiappa, drawing the entire Oldbridge defense to them to just give them the wide open go-ahead. That's some just great basketball IQ right there from Metuchen. If they keep making plays like that and just keep moving with that quality, this game should easily come to them. But, they shouldn't get ahead of themselves. They need to stay focused, stay concentrated, and just put this game to bed like we know they can.
Yeah, and obviously, they have to be careful because they did have that technical foul, which is why Goldbridge did get that extra point at the end of the first quarter. Just to clarify, don't know who the tech was on, but Grissett did get to shoot a free throw between quarters, and that's why it went from 16-7 to 16-8. As here's Peter Gamba posting up Dreher, leaves it short. Ahmed the rebound, and what a turnaround here. A 10-2 run by Metuchen. Coach Jensen imploring them to take it slow, not rush here, as they have a chance to make it a double-digit lead. Haley Pod final. It's been a good one so far. Schiappa to Grice. Grice pump fakes on a three. Back inside. Schiappa. Nice pass to Dreher, and Jai Dreher with the finish. Schiappa the excellent find. A double-digit lead. Oldbridge now in dire need of a basket and some momentum here in these final 2 minutes of the first half. It's St. Rose inside. Oh, what a finish by Jaden St. Rose. Second time in a row, he's made his way in between elusive around a couple of defenders. 8-point game. Dreher over to Schiappa. Schiappa back to Schleck. Ahmed. Almost knocked away. Schleck gets it back. Trapped. Has to get it off to somebody. Loses it. It's taken away by Gamba. Here comes Grissett the other way. Oldbridge trying to close in here before halftime. Grissett gets it back over to St. Rose. St. Rose. Crossover. Drives in. Lays it up. Jaden St. Rose can't finish. Dreher gets hit from behind. No call. And Ahmed will be told to slow things way down as we are in the final minute here of the first half. 31-23 is your score. Ahmed leaves it off for Grice. Back to Ahmed. Dreher inside. Puts it up. It's knocked from behind by Gamba. I think Dreher was going for a dunk instead of a layup. It costs him there as Gamba knocks it away from just behind.
You can call it a taste of his own medicine there, getting that hard block right near the basket for Jai Dreher.
Grissett for three. Money! Lucas Grissett will not be stopped tonight. He's got 9 points. 31-26. Bulldogs will hold for one. 12 seconds remaining here in the first half. It's Logan Grice. Crossover move on Salah. 8 seconds remaining here. Over to Ahmed with 5. Schleck driving in. Double teamed. Feeds it out. It's taken away. St. Rose will not get the shot off in time, but the Bulldogs play one of their best halves of the season and are on top of Oldbridge 31-26 right now. Josh, this Metuchen team is just playing really excellent basketball on both sides of the floor.
Absolutely. They've got some very solid defense going on, keeping this Oldbridge team guessing. And they've just put up some spectacular baskets. We've seen Luke Schleck and Dom Schiappa rain fire from deep. They both have, Luke Schleck 9 points, Dom Schiappa with 13 right now. That's a great number to hear, especially only at halftime. So they've just been solid all around. Their passing has been quick, clean, accurate. They haven't had many problems with passing this season, but it's still really great to point out how just a few fewer things to worry about. And they've just been solid all around, forcing fouls, capitalizing on mistakes, getting fired up. Their mentality is perfect. They're just getting really excited every single good play they have, and they're just doing everything right so far.
So once again, Eddie Kalegi here with Josh Hyman. We have Ben Selazki as our producer and Mr. Zanetto running the cameras. And we'd like to extend a thank you one more time to the Metuchen Education Foundation. They've funded the Get Loud grant. This is already our 17th varsity broadcast of the season in just 5 weeks. It has been wild, but it's been great to call, and we appreciate them for helping us out. So one more time, look at the box score here before we wrap up our little halftime report. 13 points for Schiappa, 9 for Schleck, 7 for Dreher, and 2 for Piavoso. For the Knights, 9 points for Lucas Grissett leads the way for them. Miles Sala, 6, St. Rose, 4, Witt, 3, and Wire and Gamba with 2 apiece. So we'll be back. Stay with us. Third quarter incoming in just a few minutes. The Bulldogs on top, 31-26, here in the Haley Family Pod Championship. Welcome back here live on the Bulldog Report. Eddie Kalegi with Josh Hyman here in the booth. Ben Selaski is our producer just behind us, and Mr. Zanetto helping us out with the shots from today's game. And speaking of shots, the Bulldogs are taking them and they are hitting them. And, looking at our scoring leaders this season, all 4 of these guys have been so strong this year. And, I mean, they're all contributing. They've all gotten on the scoreboard, and 3 of them have 7 or more points, Josh.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we've seen just incredible scoring from this team right there. Jai Dreyer kind of shaking up his points per game right here, scoring 7 so far. We got Dom Schiappa with 13, Luke Schleck with 9, Michael Piavoso with 2. Now over to the Old Bridge Knights. We have Peter Gamba with 2, Lucas Grissett with a solid 9. We have Miles Sala off the bench with 6, Jaden St. Rose with 4, Ryan Witt with 3, and then Chris Wire with 2. So a very competitive game so far, Eddie.
Yeah, certainly, and we're getting ready to go. And Josh, it's only a 5-point lead. We've seen Old Bridge come back from multiple 9-point deficits in this game to even the score. How does Metuchen come out strong and try to suppress any sort of Old Bridge comeback out of the locker room?
I think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, their defense so far has been very, very good, and they've been able to kind of outsmart and outplay this Old Bridge team so far. But like we said, Metuchen does have an unfortunate habit of getting up a very solid lead and then kind of losing grip of that as the quarter continues. They were up pretty high a few of their games, and that lead kind of slips away. So they can't let that happen, because it only takes one time for that lead to slip for them to start losing the game, and then they start to panic.
Yeah, certainly. So about ready to go here in the second half, and we'll see if the Bulldogs can keep up this strong offensive output. They've been hitting from 3. They've been hitting down low. Let's see what happens here. Grissett has it. Gets it over to Gamba. Inside, Johnson, who's been held pretty quiet today, puts it up and swatted away by Schiappa. Here comes Metuchen right back on the run. Dom Schiappa lays it up. Can't get it to fall. Dreher goes for the rebound. Shoe comes off there. A little bit of an explosion there inside, and it'll be Old Bridge ball. Jai Dreher jumping out of his shoes there, trying to get the rebound.
Having a bit of sock trouble as well, it seems.
He'll got that tied up and ready to go, and then we'll get right back to action. All right, and here we go. Setting the floor here for the Knights, Jaden St. Rose is out there with Sala, Grissett, Wire, and Gamba. Metuchen's got Ahmed, Piavoso, Schiappa, Dreher, and Schleck. Sala inside, backing in. That's Gamba. Puts it up, puts it in from about 8 feet away. Peter Gamba has shown some nice moves inside, has struggled on defense, but it's been really good in terms of rebounding, making some plays inside, and there has his second basket. He's up to 4 points. Dreher sets a screen. Piavoso spins around, finds Ahmed at the right wing. Schleck double-teamed, back over to Dreher. Over to Schiappa now at the top of the key, who finds Piavoso. Piavoso drives in, puts it up, and a foul is going to be called, and Michael Piavoso will head to the line. So here's Piavoso. And the first one's good. So Piavoso up to 3 points here. Piavoso hasn't been scoring as much as earlier in the season, but he's still been very impactful for this team, Josh.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the scoreboard doesn't reflect everything, but he has been playing very well, and he drains the 2 free throws, which is incredibly vital, especially with the lead this close.
5-point lead now for the Dogs, 33-28, 6:45 to go in the third quarter. Of course, that technical free throw, if this comes up very close, if this is a 1-point game, you don't want to be in a situation like that, where it comes down to that one free throw, because someone was getting a little too animated there at the end of the first quarter. But we know everybody's fired up. This is the last game for 5 players, and they're all playing very well tonight. As that one's going to go out of bounds. Actually, it's going to be a foul right there. Knocked out of his hands, but little too much contact as Dreher will pick up his first foul. Bulldogs have been pretty disciplined so far on defense, a total of 5 fouls for the Dogs between the two halves at this point, and Grissett will knock down the first free throw to enter double figures. So now 10 points there for the senior Lucas Grissett. Josh, there's been a lot of added intensity. We talked about it earlier. A lot of seniors on both teams, and they're all really amped up to be playing their final games.
Yeah, definitely. After losing so much of your season, after 4 years of just continuous, non-stop hard work, you really just want to end your senior year on a high note with a win in the championship game. So definitely understand the energy between these two teams. I definitely understand how badly they want it, and it's going to be a fun game to watch with that mentality in mind.
So a miss there by Schleck. Dreher nearly put Grissett in a chokehold there going for the rebound. It's an over-the-back foul, and now it's Old Bridge ball here. 3-point game, 6:06 remaining in the third quarter. Grissett swings it over to Wire. Now driving in. Sala lays it up. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound Piavoso. Michael Piavoso bringing it up for the Dogs. Over to Schiappa. Schiappa decides against the three. Opts to drive in. Finds Dreher. Out to Schleck. Schleck in the corner. That's a three-pointer. No good. Piavoso spears that one out of the air. Puts it up, and he'll draw the foul. Piavoso. That's what we were talking about. You might not see him in the scoring column, but as a guard being able to crash the boards like that and secure a key rebound, and now a possession that could have been empty, he's got a chance to add some points.
Exactly, and that's a rebound we would expect from somebody like Jai Dreher, but it was an impressive catch, a great aggressive timing, and he draws the foul as well, which is just incredibly important right now.
Bulldogs looking good from the free throw line here as that one will fall. Ryan Witt will replace Chris Wire here for the Knights. Reminder, third place game already happened. Middlesex beat New Brunswick. That was a 4:30 start, 64-54 the final there. And this is the Haley Pod Championship. Second free throw rims out. Old Bridge the other way, trailing by 4 with 5.5 remaining in quarter number 3. Grissett's guarded by Ahmed. Now St. Rose gives it back to Grissett. Bulldogs in the zone defense. And that one's going to be taken away by Aiden Ahmed, but Ahmed gets chased back down. Jaden St. Rose takes it back away. Dogs and Knights trade steals, and now Sala tries for his third three-pointer. Can't hit that one. Ahmed tips it in the air, but it's secured by Gamba. Gamba puts one up from the elbow. Too strong off the back iron. Dreher, the strong rebound. Gets it over to Piavoso. Here comes Michael Piavoso driving down the lane. Euro steps back out. Ahmed. Here's Dreher at the top of the key. Back to Ahmed at the right wing. Ahmed to Schiappa. Schiappa sidesteps, drives in, kicks it out. Schleck. And now Piavoso will slow down the pace. Both benches fired up. Bulldogs showing some offensive poise, but Old Bridge holding strong on the defensive end. Schiappa. Back to Ahmed. Over to Schiappa. Schiappa decides against the three. Elects to drive. Lays it up. No good. Nearly a collision between a couple of Knights going for the rebound, and ends up being Witt who takes it. Old Bridge trying to encroach into that Bulldog lead little by little. St. Rose puts one up, a long two, no good, for the rebound, and they're going to call another foul against Jai Dreher, and he's picked up 3 fouls here in the last 4 minutes, which is not what the Metuchen Bulldogs need by any means, and on top of it, they're going to send Gamba, a pretty decent shooter for a big man, to the line.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help. He's got to control himself. You know, 3 fouls in the half just started, and you can't be giving away free throws like this when the lead is only 4 points.
First one will fall, and the lead is down to 3, as Dreher will now have to take a seat. A reminder, really, Schleck is their only other big. Sam Koguima really usually comes in late in the game. And he is not much of an offensive threat, as that second free throw is short. 3-point game, halfway through the third. Piavoso over to Grice. Bulldogs looking to make do while Dreher sits with his foul trouble. Ahmed back to Piavoso. Back to Grice now at the right wing. Grice kicks it over to Schleck. Schleck looks at Grice. Now he will bounce it over to him. Bulldogs going with a 3-guard, 2-forward set right now. Piavoso decides against the 3. Finds Schiappa. Schiappa puts it up. No good. Dom Schiappa had been shooting really well in the first half. Now gets tied up with Sala. That'll be a jump ball. And because of that hustle there from Schiappa, he'll be rewarded, and then the Bulldogs will keep possession. Schiappa trying to find someone. A deep pass out to Piavoso. Michael Piavoso. Over to Grice. Grice. Over to Ahmed. Grice back Piavoso. Grice selects against the 3. Piavoso now Schleck on the right wing. Schleck trying to find somebody. And he gets it back to Michael Piavoso. Grice. Piavoso. 3-pointer. MP33. 4-3. Bulldogs double their lead. It's a 6-point game.
Yeah, scoring really when it matters most. Michael Piavoso in a spectacular 3-point shot.
Now the Old Bridge Knights looking to respond as the lead has gone back up to 6. It's Sala from downtown. Airball. Rebound Piavoso. Bulldogs looking to add to the lead. 6-point game. 2:38 to go here in the quarter. And a timeout's going to be called.
I don't know if you caught it there, but it seems like Michael Piavoso did a little celebration when he got that rebound. And rightfully so. It was a big play. And now the Bulldogs can sit comfortably with their 6-point lead right now. But as you know, that 6-point lead may not be as comfortable as you might think, because this Old Bridge team is angry at this point. They're really looking to get that lead back, and it is possible for this Old Bridge team.
Let's look at a replay here. Look at them passing the ball around, and Piavoso is right there, gets the space, puts up the 3. And the Bulldogs are shooting the ball just really well tonight, Josh.
Yeah, it's been a good game all around for this Bulldogs team.
So 2:39 remaining here in the third quarter. And what a game it has been. And the story has really been Metuchen. They've gotten leads. They haven't been able to get it up to double digits. They've led by 9 on multiple occasions. And every time it seems like Old Bridge charges back, but then the Bulldogs just have a little bit more energy and they're able to prevail. And you can see the fans. It's the most fans we've had for a game so far this season. They are all amped and excited to watch this pod championship unfold. But a big-time mistake there by Schiappa, a travel, and all the momentum kind of seizes for a moment as the Knights will get possession back. Old Bridge going with Sala, St. Rose, Grissett, Witt, and Gamba, 5 of their top scorers from today's game. St. Rose has been a real spark off the bench. He's a junior, and with a lot of seniors on this team, he'll become a key leader next season as a shot is good for Gamba. Both these teams have a lot of seniors playing their final games. You know that's a lot of added energy, but also these teams trying to get one last game in with their core as Coach Jensen, very frustrated, bounces the ball about 20 feet in the air after an errant pass.
It's just really frustrating for this Metuchen team because they had so much momentum going back from that timeout, and now they seem to have dissipated. It's just really, really frustrating to see this lead kind of dangerously slip away.
Gamba inside. That's good over Luke Schleck. Peter Gamba starting to make his impact. He's got 9 points, 37-35. Bulldogs could really use a basket here. And that's going to be picked off by Sala. Schiappa nearly takes it away. Bodies all over the place. Back the other way. Here comes Old Bridge. Inside. Grissett up and under is good. Lucas Grissett. Unstoppable. And we're tied at 37. Old Bridge has come back from another deficit. Now the question is, can they finally take the lead again? But no. Schiappa. Resilient inside. Dom Schiappa with his first points of the half.
And he's got 15 this game so far.
His pass, St. Rose rolls out. Schiappa going for the rebound. And that's going to be a foul against Old Bridge, I believe. Yes, it will. Coach Jeff Warner not too happy with the call, as that's number 2 there against Jaden St. Rose, who has played a pretty nice game.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate foul at a time where you really needed that momentum.
1 minute remaining in the third quarter. What a game we have on hand. 39-37, Metuchen on top. Here is Grice. Grice gets it over. Schiappa. Inside. Back out. Schleck has space. 3-pointer is good. Money from Luke Schleck. Bulldogs again avoid a potential Old Bridge lead, re-extend the lead up to 5.
Yeah, and we know that Luke Schleck is comfortable from that three-point line. Right when they left him all alone and he just teed up for that shot, you knew it was going in because he is unstoppable from deep.
So one more time this season here for basketball. Last time, but of course it's a real thank you we have to give to this Metuchen Education Foundation. Josh, we alluded to it a lot last week, but getting to call these games here from the makeshift studio we now have in the athletic director's office. Now we have a nice little, precedent set that we can continue this even after you and I are gone. And of course, even in the spring, we're not done. We'll be broadcasting a couple of wrestling matches. We'll also have baseball and softball on the way in April. But Josh, it's been so great getting to call these games all season.
Yeah, it has been a huge honor and a huge privilege to be able to do this, especially during the very unexpected events that have happened, all throughout last year and this year. But yeah, it's also just been great to have the support of the school and the community just cheering us on. And, without them, we really wouldn't be able to do this.
So 42-37 Metuchen. Old Bridge led this game 7-6. The Bulldogs have not seized the lead since, despite Old Bridge coming back from 3 deficits of 6+ points to tie the game. Metuchen seems to keep on taking the lead. Chiappa and Dreher will both be out at the moment, as Sean Kenny will get his first playing time. So now, Josh, a lot of pressure on Luke Schleck to make something happen on offense with both Dreher and Chiappa on the bench.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, and not only does he have to make baskets, he's one of the only big guys on the court right now for Metuchen, and this Old Bridge team has a lot of height, so it's gonna be really tough for guys like Kenny, guys like Ahmed, who have a bit of a shorter stature. It's going to be tough for them to go up against these tall guys, but they're going to have to step up if they want to win here tonight.
So St. Rose draws the foul against Piavoso. So now Piavoso has 3. So Dreher and Piavoso with 3 fouls apiece. Good thing for the Bulldogs, giving Dreher the break after his 3 fouls. They've been able to hang on pretty well so far. St. Rose. Wide open inside is Grissom. It's tipped into the hands of Gamba. Defenders all around him. And they force the travel. Gamba trying to pivot, picked up the foot. It's a turnover. Jeff Warner is livid coming off the sidelines to voice his opinion over to the officials. And now Chiappa and Dreher will check back in. Sean Kenny's appearance is short-lived. Ahmed and Kenny will take a seat.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reoccurring theme here with those travels under the basket. Metuchen have done a great job of just stuffing up this Old Bridge attack. And, that's really all it. They get in the face, they cut off his options, and then the Old Bridge guys are just left with no choice but to take too many steps.
Coach Warner getting an explanation and probably a warning not to get a technical foul himself. Metuchen already had one at the end of the first quarter. Mr. Paragallo walking in front of the camera, but here we go. It's Michael Piavoso with it. 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and now some trouble there. A foul, it looks like, against St. Rose. And now he has 3 fouls. Chiappa pass is picked up by St. Rose. Right back the other way. That's how you make up for a foul. 3-point game. 17 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. What will happen? Can they score one more time before the end of the quarter? Or will it be a one-possession game heading into the fourth? Piavoso inside, lays it up, no good. Chiappa goes for the rebound, it's tipped in the air. Going the other way goes St. Rose with 3 seconds. Inside, Grissom, offensive foul. Logan Grice has been so good at that all season, drawing charges, and stops a fast break right there.
And a crucial stop at that. He stops it from being a one-possession game. Grice, he is no stranger to just putting his body on the line for these big plays, and it pays off once again with that stop.
Jaron Piavoso will get a little added break between quarters. They'll come out for the final second. Grice with the heave. It hits off the netting up there, and that will end the third. It is a 3-point game in the Haley Pod final. Josh, these boys have played together these last 4 years, and now playing for a pod championship. Their final quarter as Metuchen Bulldog players. These seniors trying to make something happen. We don't really know the next steps for this Metuchen Bulldog program. Dom Schiappa, of course, will be back as a senior, but it's going to look completely different next year. But these boys really going for it. Speaking of someone who just recently came from a Metuchen program, we wanted to give a shout out to Jay Harry, who now goes to Penn State, a freshman who plays baseball, and had his first career hit today against Northwestern, playing at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, home of the Minnesota Vikings. And that was a nice little double. It's his first at bat in college.
Yeah, it's a really good first impression for his college ball career.
So nice job by him, but the focus at hand tonight, we've got Metuchen basketball. The girls, they lost their game against the South Plainfield Tigers earlier. Bulldogs trying to make something of it today with these boys team who have led since the first quarter despite a couple of ties. 8 minutes to go. Final quarter of the basketball season is underway. St. Rose, errant pass, out of bounds, Metuchen ball.
Oldbridge coach is visibly frustrated once again. He's not been a happy camper throughout this game so far.
Yeah, Jeff Warner not happy with the officials, but for something like that, all he can do right there is shrug. Piavoso, nice defense from St. Rose, who has played a really good game. Almost takes the ball away. Piavoso takes a hard fall right there, as he got tied up with St. Rose. A little slow to get up there for Piavoso as he came down pretty hard on both his knees. But now St. Rose, who has been the aggressor on defense and a distributor, now has 4 fouls. Here's Piavoso with it. Metuchen by 3. Start of the fourth quarter. Ahmed. That's a travel. And we've seen some travel starting to pick up here in the second half for Metuchen, Josh.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that has been the bane of their existence this season, just those useless, silly fouls and just those really bad travels. They've been great so far in this first half and into the third quarter, but they need to be careful here, especially with the lead so close.
Sala to tie, no good. Rebound by St. Rose. He'll dribble it back out beyond the arc. St. Rose, quick pass back. Grissett to tie. He can't get one to fall either. Schiappa the strong rebound. Here comes Metuchen the other way. No need to rush. They got to take a smart shot. Oldbridge bringing great defense. Ahmed, no look. Schleck, 4-3. No good off the back iron. Rebound by Witt. Ryan Witt bringing it up here for Oldbridge. 7 minutes to go. Grissett decides against the 3. Steps back. No look. Over. Inside, that's Gamba. Back out, Grissett tries for 3 to tie. It's a splash from downtown. Lucas Grissett tied at 42.
16 points for Lucas Grissett this far in the game.
17 against Middlesex for Grissett on Wednesday and picking it right up. Piavoso had a chance for 3. Now we'll drive in for 2. What a move by Piavoso to put it in. Dogs back up by 2. Grissett has it stripped. Here comes Piavoso the other way. Bulldogs 3-on-2 break. He was going a little too fast. That'll go out of bounds. And it'll be Oldbridge ball. You want to make a fast break play, but when you have 2 defenders on you, maybe not the smartest decision there.
I mean, you got to weigh your options there. He felt like he could, and you got to move fast when it comes to defenses like this. So it was a great choice, a great option. Unfortunately, just didn't work out.
Grissett. Pass, inside, driving in, St. Rose, oh, he couldn't get the friendly roll. It was literally halfway down and rolled right back out. And now Piavoso, across the timeline, finds Grice. Now it's Schleck. Schleck back out, Piavoso. Schleck, back to Grice. Piavoso inside, lays it up, no good. Schleck the rebound, Dreher the rebound, puts it up and in. Jai Dreher has been quiet compared to the last 2 games, but still making an impact. It's 46-42 your score. St. Rose drives in. Back out to Grissett. Grissett. Turnover, Metuchen ball. And we got a timeout called right here with 5:34 remaining. 46-42, the Bulldogs leading it with 5.5 remaining. They're up by 4, Josh, but we've seen how many times Oldbridge has come back from these deficits. They just did it again right before Metuchen scored 2 in a row. How do they prevent this on defense?
They need to clean up their They need to clean up their travels and their drops that Metuchen has been having so far. And for Oldbridge, they cannot keep traveling underneath the basket. They're going to have to get that figured out one way or another. We've just seen way too many sloppy offensive plays from Oldbridge when it comes to missed passes right in the beginning of the half, to travels, to just drop balls, to strips, to turnovers. They got to work on that a lot. And Metuchen has been having a pretty clean game so far. You know, a few issues here and there. Nothing too costly, but at the same time, anything can happen in these last 5 minutes, and with a score so close and two teams that have been just ridiculously aggressive so far, it's going to be a really close game no matter what happens.
And anything can happen in the playoffs as well, as hadn't blown the whistle yet when Wire tried to pass that one in. They'll do it again. That pass, Wire puts it up off the bottom of the backboard, no good. So they first looked like a turnover right before the timeout, but they got the timeout called before the potential 5-second violation. This time, though, it'll be a turnover off the jump ball. Metuchen will take possession. Bulldogs have led by as many as 9. Biggest lead is 2 for the Oldbridge Knights.
And that was at the very beginning of the game.
So Wire has picked up the 5th foul for him, so looks like Chris Wire is going to be done for the night. And the Bulldogs now in the bonus, as Dreher knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1.
Been very good from the line. He's got 4 points from free throws tonight.
Dreher can't hit the second. 47-42. Up the floor. Driving in. And that's going to be a foul against Metuchen, a blocking foul. St. Rose hit that 3 after the call. And it's the second foul against Logan Grice. So Sala, St. Rose, Grissett, Gamba, all in there with Witt. Bulldogs going with Schiappa, Grice, Dreher, Schleck, and Piavoso inside. Grissett rolls it home. The nice fancy a finger roll finish. Lucas Grissett again. 47-44, 5 minutes to go. The press is coming from Oldbridge. The Bulldogs have really struggled when teams have applied press defense. And there it is again, Grissett. And a foul as well. Michael Piavoso, the double whammy, the turnover and then the foul. And now that was the last foul to give, and now Piavoso has 4 fouls.
And we've got a lot of players in foul trouble right now for both teams.
Yeah, Wire just fouled out. He was at 5, and then Piavoso has 4. Dreher has 3. Piavoso very frustrated as he takes a seat. Ahmed is back into the game. Driving in, kicking it out. Gamba to tie. In and out. Barreled in and out right there. Grice nearly traveled. Gets it free. Ahmed inside. Here comes Jai Dreher. Dreher inside. Out jumps him and puts it in. Jai Dreher with his second bucket of the 4th quarter. Bulldogs by 5. 4.5 to go. St. Rose penetrates. Kicks it out. Sala 4-3. No good. Too strong. Dreher the rebound. Dreher starting to dominate on both sides of the court. Logan Grice has it. 4:14 to go. Ahmed. Over to Dreher. Dreher inside. Schiappa lays it up. No good. Rebound by Witt. Nearly and over the back there on Schiappa. But no call. The other way. Grice gets crossed over. Grissett leaves it short. Long rebound all the way out near the half-court line. Trying to stay across. He can't do it. It's taken away. Schiappa inside. Lays it up and in. Dom Schiappa makes the Metuchen lead 7 with 3:42 to go. What a defensive play there from the Bulldogs. All coming together. Teamwork pays off. Coach Warner telling them to spread out and move around. Grissett, ISO, inside, no good. Gets his own rebound, and he gets an easy path to the layup. Too many crash the boards right there for the Bulldogs. And with 3:22 left, it's now 51-46. Let's take a quick replay at what just happened there inside for the Bulldogs. And you see here St. Rose, Oldbridge really trying to move it around, and you see them calling off the ball to move away and allow Grissett to get inside. But three players go, and they leave Grissett wide open and step right in.
Yeah, and another thing, a bit of a miscommunication between Schleck and Dreyer, both going for the rebound at the same time, and unfortunately none of them get it. And it leads to Grissett, who now has 20 points for these Oldbridge Knights tonight.
Yeah, because it's important, yes, of course, your main focus is getting the ball and getting a rebound. That's simple, but when you're in a situation when you have someone, like you just said, who can score 20 points, you can't just get the rebound. You have to box them out, too. And when you have three people just only focused on getting to the ball and leaving the top scorer wide open, that if they can't get that rebound, he's got an easy path, you can't be making those types of mistakes.
Exactly. Tunnel vision is a terrible thing to have, especially in basketball and especially in championship games like this, but you got to stay aware of your surroundings, and if you don't, you get unexpected jabs to your lead, just like Lucas Grissett had.
And Grissett has shot from deep. He's made some nice drives inside, doing it all for this Oldbridge team. He was their only player in double figures in their last game against Middlesex to get to this position. Bulldogs by 5. The press comes again. Schiappa, double team, gets it over to Schleck. They got it to get it across midcourt. Great pass over to Dreyer. Inside, Grice, entry pass, gets it in. Logan Grice off the feed from Dreyer. The lead is back to 7. 3 minutes to go.
You could not have asked for better passing on that possession right there from Metuchen.
Jaden St. Rose can't hit the 3 in and out. Here comes Metuchen on the run. Schiappa taking himself, laying it up, trying to draw the foul. He can't, and now suddenly on the fast break, here comes Oldbridge. St. Rose pass, it's Grissett again. He leaves it short. Bulldogs the rebound, and Logan Grice will slow things down. Ahmed has it. Swings it inside Dreyer. Dreyer. And a timeout here with 2:36 remaining. It was getting a little disoriented there for Metuchen.
I'm very impressed by the way Metuchen was able to just keep everything under control. It was getting hectic down there. And nevertheless, Metuchen was still able to keep those passes just pristine and accurate. And, we didn't see a mistake, which was super easy to make, especially in such a frantic, chaotic moment such as that one. Unfortunately, their momentum was interrupted a bit, but they'll be able to bounce back from that no problem.
Yeah, basket here goes a long way, because if they can get up to 9 or 10 here with 2.5 to go, that is a pretty comfortable position to be in. But this Oldbridge team, they keep coming back from these little deficits, and Lucas Grissett is just having such a great game on both sides of the ball. Looking at the box score now, 20 points for Grissett, 9 for Gamba, 6 for Salas, 6 for St. Rose, 3 for Witt, and 2 for Wire. From Metuchen, they've only had 5 scores, but 12 points from Schiappa, 12 from Schleck, 11 from Piavoso, and 12 from Dreyer, and 2 from Grice. So we talked about it. They have 4 players that average double figures, and all 4 are in double digits today.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying. If those numbers, if those averages are seen tonight, like we said, Metuchen was going to be in a good spot, and right now they are in a great spot. All of those averages are either being met or close to being met.
So here we go. Schiappa will inbound. Metuchen by 7. Floats it out to Dreyer. Dreyer at the elbow. Opposite side to Schleck. Schiappa. Shot. No good off the back iron. Grissett gets tied up with Grice. Jump ball. And Metuchen has the possession arrow. Schiappa to Schleck. Schleck, mid-range. No good off the side of the rim. Dreyer the rebound. Bulldogs control. Just really need to play keep away right now and not give Oldbridge too many offensive opportunities. Grice passing it around. It's Schleck. Schleck inside. There's Dreyer. Dreyer makes one miss, lays it up, and good! Jai Dreyer again. Fourth quarter takeover from Jai Dreyer. 55-46. Inside, the layup. St. Rose, offensive foul! Jai Dreyer draws the charge. St. Rose cannot believe it. Bulldogs bench is going crazy. What a play on both ends for Jai Dreher.
Yeah, and with that, Jaden St. Rose. Oh wait, sorry about that. That was not against Jaden St. Rose. That was against Miles Sala, who now has 3 fouls tonight. My apologies.
Piovoso. Schleck driving, laying it up. It's good! The Bulldogs lead by double digits. And that was actually against St. Rose. There was a typo on the scoreboard, so he is fouled out. Grissett a deep 3. Rims out, rebound Schleck. Bulldogs control it by 11. 1:40 to go. And a foul. This whole Metuchen team is so fired up right now. These seniors, if they win this, it's a championship. People might be saying, oh, there's 8 champions this year in the GMC, but it's still a title game.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that matters, especially in a year like this where everything has been thrown through a loop. They're still champions. They're still going to be champions, and everybody will recognize them as champions, and that's all that matters. Getting some spirit fingers from the bench is Logan Grice.
Puts in the front end of the 1-and-1. Grice and Kenny, 2 of those seniors who are often overshadowed by the others, but all 5 have made sizable contributions over their 4-year careers. And Grice gets both free throws to fall. Metuchen has been on point from the line today. 8-0 run, and they lead by 13, their biggest lead of the game. And that pass is taken away. Piovoso has it the other way, leaves it for Schiappa, and Metuchen is having a party out there. The lead is 15, 61-46, 1:20 to go. Driving in inside, Gamba, yes. Of course, the press is going to come, and we know Metuchen has issues with that, but the clock continues to tick. 1:10 to go. Only 1 timeout remaining here for Old Bridge. Schiappa the pass. It's Piovoso. Ahead to Dreher. Jai Dreher up and can't complete the dunk, but Schleck was there to tip it in. Jai Dreher wanted to...
16 points.
Yeah, Dreher wanted to send everything into a frenzy there as Grissett lays it up. And we'll see what the call is. And Piovoso butting heads with Grissett. Have to separate them. Dom Schiappa trying to calm down Piovoso. Got to let cooler heads prevail here as both coaches coming out to talk to the refs too. Looks like they're going to call 4th foul against Dreher. They're talking it over. Right now the call on the floor is a basket by Grissett and a foul against Dreher. And let's just take a look at this sequence again. At what just transpired here, Josh. As you see, they're going to drive. I think it's pretty obvious that you could call the offensive foul there. And then just trying to analyze what happened afterwards. Piovoso stepped over Lucas Grissett. Grissett took exception to that. Said something about Piovoso. You can see, I mean, you can't have stuff like that happening.
No, absolutely not, especially this late into the game where a lot of your teammates are in foul trouble, and Piovoso himself is in foul trouble. He's got 4. You can't do that. That is just unacceptable. That is, it's emotions are running hot tonight. That's understandable, but you just got to let yourself play it cool. You got to control your emotions, especially in these high-stakes situations.
So let's see what happens here. First of all, you've got the call on the floor. It looks like there's going to be a technical foul potentially as well. Let's see. Now, Piovoso did initiate it with the stepping over Grissett. Then Grissett said something about Piovoso. Piovoso took exception, and they got forehead to forehead. Which, not a good look. And, of course, final minute of the game, final minute of the season where we've been trying to navigate a pandemic when everything's about social distancing. It's probably not the best optics, but regardless... It was nice to see, both coaches understanding the importance. You saw Coach Jensen and Coach Warner both head out onto the floor, just try to calm things down there. So it's a 13-point game right now with 57 seconds. So it will be a technical free throw here for Grissett. Looks like Piovoso might be out as he's going to miss that free throw. 51 seconds left. Brady Cavallaro is going to check in for the first time here for the Old Bridge Knights. Piovoso, he was at 4 fouls, and I think he got a technical there, so that's why he is out, and that's why they had that free throw. So second technical here against Metuchen. And a foul now against Ahmed. Coach Jensen is like, come on, guys, let's get this done and seal up a win. Don't want to let them creep back into this. And you know, you want to play defense here, but you cannot be making those types of mistakes of getting so close to them that you're fouling them and giving them easy trips to the free throw line, especially since they're in the bonus. So it's Ryan Witt at the line. Witt, a sophomore. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Rebound Schleck with 39 seconds. And there's a foul. Bulldogs are now in the double bonus. Already both Wire and St. Rose have fouled out for not Denellen, Old Bridge. Been a long day, I'm already mixing up my teams here. Schleck at the line, and I called you Jai at the beginning of the second half, so it's alright. Schleck at the line, banks in the first free throw. When things like that are falling, everything's going right. And looking at the scoring column, Josh, there's so many players doing so well here from Metuchen tonight.
Yeah, it is impressive. We have Jai Dreher with 14, Dom Schappa with 19, Luke Schleck with 17, Michael Piovoso with 10, and Logan Grice with 4.
And another one for Schleck, 65-50, 38 seconds to go. Old Bridge with it. There's Sala passing it around. I believe that's Adam Skyer with it. Now gets it over to Witt. Inside. Penetrating. Leaves it off. Three-pointer. Sala hits. 17 seconds to go. Metuchen taking their sweet time with it. It's Schiappa. Passes it ahead to Dreher. Dreher over to Schiappa. Schiappa lays it up and is fouled with 8 seconds to go.
You can see from the bench players, they know what's about to happen. They know they've pretty much got this game in the bag.
So the Bulldogs, Coach Jensen talked about, to me, how this team, he compared them to 2006. As we see an embrace there between Coach Jensen and Piovoso on the sidelines. The service that Piovoso has provided to him these last couple of years. And all 5 of these seniors have made such an impact. Rebound. Old Bridge will dribble it out. And the Metuchen Bulldogs have won the Haley Pod Championship for 2021, 65-53 over Old Bridge to cap off the season at a 10-5 record. Metuchen wins their last 3 games, all at home. A senior night victory, then back-to-back here in the pod. And a huge victory for the Dogs to cap off the season on a really, really high note. Schiappa and Piovoso so excited. The senior core that will be leaving and certainly leaving a legacy here in Metuchen for their service. 5 seniors, Dreher, Kenny, Schleck, Grice, and Piovoso will all be heading off. Dom Schiappa now takes on a huge role next year as a leader of this team. Aiden Ahmed, Max Cohn, Sam Kaguima, the next generation of Bulldogs, and Coach Guy Jensen ready to go. But for now, it's time to celebrate the Haley Family Pod champions, your Metuchen Bulldogs. And Josh, what a game this team played through all 4 quarters.
Yeah, you really couldn't have asked for a better performance from this Metuchen team. Like we said, as long as they played how they were supposed to, as long as they played how they were going to on paper, they'd come away with the win. And let's see what we have here. We have everybody meeting their averages, everybody, just playing an incredible performance here tonight. And, they walk away with a really comfortable victory. You just couldn't have asked for better. And like you said, these seniors will be sorely missed next year, but I think this Metuchen Bulldogs team is in incredible hands with the likes of Ahmed and Schiappa at the helm.
So what a way to close out the season. So 20 points for Lucas Grissett first on the losing end, 11 for Gamba, 9 for Sala, 6 for St. Rose, 3 for Witt, and 2 for Wire. For the Dogs, 19 points for Dom Schiappa, 18 for Schleck, 14 Dreher, 11 Piovoso, and 4 for Grice. And that's how we wrap up this season. as they hoist the trophy, the Haley champions, the Haley Pod champions. Mr. Haley himself there to present the trophy. The Bulldogs have done it. A number 1 seed, capitalize on the home court advantage. And they are officially crowned Haley Pod champions. You can see all the jubilation from these players. Getting to play in front of the parents again. Mr. Molfetto's there for some pictures. You see Mr. Paragallo, Mr. Cathcart. And I think everybody's just so happy. We made it through this season, a whole basketball season, and for the boys and girls, not one game postponed due to COVID-19 in the middle of a pandemic. What an effort by these kids this year, and from the parents and everybody trying to make sure this was safe, and of course the parents for the second half of the season getting to see their kids play.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible the journey these kids have taken. You know, they start the season awkwardly. They didn't have the greatest record of all time. But, you know, nevertheless, they were able to play at home in front of a crowd, you know, in front of their friends, their family, their parents. And they got an exciting win against a really tough competition. You know, it was really just the perfect storm that led to a great and memorable victory.
And check it out, some jubilation there from this Bulldog team as they pull it off as Haley Pod champions. Dom Schiappa and the seniors soaking in the victory. And that's how we wrap things up for this season. 17 basketball broadcasts in 37 days. I'm almost going out of my mind at this point, but it's been great to be here. And Josh, these last 4 years getting to call these games with you, it's been really quite the experience.
Yeah, it's been great. And for you especially, you've just outdone yourself these last few months. You need to go home, take a rest. You've deserved it. You know, and Ben Solaski, too, here, our video producer, has done a fantastic job, you know, manning these cameras, making sure our audio is good, checking the stream. You know, it's just been a fantastic effort from everybody here at Metuchen High School has helped us along with this journey.
Yeah, and a thank you to our camera people, Jada Victor Morse for the girls' game, and Mr. Zanetto. Z, thanks so much for your help this season, and you were there again today for the boys' game. So the boys cap it off. Haley Family Pod champions. And basketball season's over, but things will be kicking off once again with some more coverage here on the Bulldog Report as the wrestling season begins, as Metuchen will face off at St. Thomas Aquinas. That's March 17th. We'll have some streams. I'll be there to commentate some of them. And then April 17th, opening day for baseball and softball. You can continue to be here. Also check out the MHS podcast. Our latest episode, we were joined by Alan Johnson, the Metuchen resident, who was a recent contestant on Jeopardy! You can check that out, MHS podcast on YouTube. And the Metuchen Media Club, Ben Solaski, you can talk to him if you're interested in helping out with the Bulldog Report, participating in their film competitions, or other endeavors. But that will wrap things up for this basketball season. Congratulations to the Metuchen Bulldogs for pulling off the Pod Championship. Eddie Kalegi, Josh Hyman signing off once again. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend as Metuchen captures victory.